Hello everyone, my name is Nicole and this year I am attempting NaNoWriMo. This video will be covering my first week of the challenge where I attempt to write a 50,000 word novel in the month of November. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. Good morning. It is the first day of NaNoWriMo and it is like 6:40 in the morning, so this is me first thing waking up in the morning. I am feeling a little bit nervous, wondering if I can do this, but it's only the first day, 0 words. I'm going to give it my best shot and see where it goes. I'm gonna be writing for about an hour, gonna set myself a timer, and then after that, gonna see where I'm at. Maybe I'll give myself another 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna have to start getting ready for work. So I will see you in a bit. It is day 2 of NaNoWriMo. It's like 6:30 in the morning. Again, I've just woken up. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing this morning routine, but it worked for me yesterday, so maybe I'll keep trying it for as long as it works. Yesterday felt pretty good. I met my word goal. I was like maybe about 100 words over. I wasn't too happy with what I wrote, but I'm telling myself as long as I get it down, it can always be edited later. What I write now doesn't have to be perfect. I think the goal really is just to write as much as you can and just put it out there, get it out there, and it can be edited later, it can be tweaked later, but I think the general idea of what I want so far has been put down. Yesterday I was working on the first chapter of the novel, and I've never written a first chapter before, so it's kind of weird to me to figure out how to set up all the introductions to the characters and make sure everything's going okay, but like I said, I can always edit it later. So I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea and then get to writing this morning, and we'll see how far I get. After work, and I am just waiting for my dinner to finish cooking in the oven. This morning I didn't end up writing the full word count. I totally forgot that I had some stuff to do this morning, like making my lunch, so I did not plan ahead for my morning writing time, but I still ended up getting about 900 words in, so 600 more words to go. But I took transit to work this morning and then on my way home, so I was able to get some writing done in the notes app on my phone. So now I'm just going to copy that over, see how much I wrote, and then continue writing from there until I reach my 1,500 word goal. Good morning. It is day 3 of NaNoWriMo. It's a bit later than usual. It's like 7 now. If you hear stuff frying in the background, I'm cooking lunch for myself today. Yeah, so I'm still on track for my writing. Today is another 105,000 words. Why did I say 105,000? I'm tired. It is another 1,500 words, 1,500 words. I'm gonna try to get as much done as possible this morning, but I think I am running a bit short on time, but we'll see how far I get. As you can see, it is still dark outside, so maybe it will be light again by the next time I see you. And I forgot to say that my husband made me a very nice cup of coffee this morning, so that will also get me through my word count. It is now light outside. I've only written about 600 words. To be honest, I feel like I'm kind of in a slump this morning. I just feel tired and not like in a state of mind to write. But anyways, I have to go get ready for work now, and I'll probably do the same thing as yesterday. I'm transiting to work again. So I will try and write on my notes app on my phone, because at least it helps me pass the time when I'm on the bus. So I will check in with you later. And welcome back. You are seeing me, Nicole from the future now, because that Thursday I did not end up writing more. It is unfortunate, but it is true. I don't know what it was, but I was just feeling like a complete zombie that day. I had a hard time even just getting through the work day, and I definitely did not get any writing done on the bus. So that evening I just decided to take it easy on myself and embrace my kind of like lazy writing routine where I sit on the couch and my husband plays a video game and I'm able to turn my attention back and forth between writing and watching what's happening on the screen. And I find that works really well for me when I can't get my mind into writing mode. Like if I tell myself, oh, I'm just doing it passively, it makes it easier for me to get into it, and then once I get into a flow, everything's fine. So even though I was feeling really awful that evening, I was still able to meet the word count for the day. Friday morning, I had a very early morning appointment to get to, so I had no time to set aside that morning for my writing. And then it was an especially long day at work, but that's okay. When I got home that evening and I was all settled in, I got myself all nice and cozy, lit a nice pumpkin candle for myself, and got to writing. Honestly, I felt like after the Thursday where I was just feeling so sluggish, I lost my momentum and it was a struggle to just get the words out. I just kept having to take breaks and trying to do anything I could to kind of get in the vibe. I even started writing in a notebook because I was like paralyzed looking at the screen. I think my eyes were so tired from working all day and staring at a computer that sitting at home and staring at a computer screen wasn't helping my creativity. So I got out a notebook and just started scribbling stuff down just to get the ideas flowing. I didn't actually end up using what I wrote in the notebook in my actual novel script, but it at least got my ideas out there and started getting my brain back into the writing mode. So I was able to just meet my word count for the Friday. And then came Saturday. As I said in my previous video, I had planned for my Saturdays to be 4,250 words written down, and this is a big amount. Even just writing the 1,500 words each day was like a lot for me. And I know it may not be a lot for most people, but for me, it felt like a significant amount. I think because I haven't been writing in so long, it's just hard to get into the groove of things again. I think the first day, the word count went by no problem because it was new to me and it was new and exciting and I felt like I had this momentum and was ready to put words onto paper. But then on Saturday morning, I just kind of woke up with dread and a lot of self-doubt, wondering what I'm doing writing this story. Like, is the story even good enough? Is anyone gonna want to read it? I had a phone call with my friend who is also attempting to do this challenge. We just caught up and we started talking about our progress this week, and I was explaining to her that like the feelings I was having of all this self-doubt, and she reminded me that we're writing the stories that we want to read ourselves. And I think I really needed to hear that as well. And she was also telling me to not get so caught up in the word count that I was trying to achieve. We really reminded ourselves that the goal of this challenge is to more get into like a routine of getting ourselves into writing again. We both are not people who write every day or anything like that, and it's been such a long time since I've consistently written so much, so of course it's going to be hard doing something new that your brain isn't used to. And I am a person who has a lot of self-doubt and like worries about not being good enough and things like that, but I think having that phone call with her was a really good reminder of me writing my absolute best is not the goal of this challenge. What I'm trying to do is just tell my story, and getting so caught up in the word count isn't going to help me, because I could still reach those 50,000 words writing just nonsense. But I think my main goal of this challenge is to just finally get the story I want to tell out there and hope that it reaches 50,000 words, or if it goes over 50,000 words, then I'll figure it out later. I just want to end this challenge with a story that I can work with, that I can edit, and just be able to finally get it out there. I know I said this like so many times in my previous video, but I think getting caught up in the process of actually writing and figuring things out, got overwhelmed by it all, and I definitely don't want to give up. I have not given up yet. So Saturday, after the phone call with her, I just felt so reinvigorated by it all. I went and sat down and I got 2,000 words down. Like I said before, I was prepared for life to happen, and I was invited to go out with my family and I didn't want to refuse. So I went out with them and I was like, you know what? The word count can wait, but this opportunity to spend time with my family can't. I think taking a break from it is something I really needed. I got to spend the day with them, and then when I came home for the evening, I felt ready to write again. And you know what? I didn't meet my word goal that Saturday. I didn't meet the 4,250 words I set out to do, but what I did do was I decided to change up the way I was writing. So far this week I've been trying to write chronologically, like from the first chapter on the first day and just continuing on from there. So I got up to about the third chapter, and then this also came about while talking to my friend. It's like, I think if I keep writing chronologically, I'm gonna get bored. So I've decided to take on the tactic of writing the scenes and parts of chapters that I want to write, and then I'll kind of string them along the way or work on stringing them along together later as I go. And I know that may not be like what's recommended by people to do. I don't know what's recommended by people to do, but this is kind of the direction I'm taking now. So keeping that in mind, I was able to reach about 3,000 words on Saturday, and then my brain was kind of like, you know what? I've had enough. Let's just continue and pick it up tomorrow. And that takes us to today, which is Sunday. Sunday I designated as my rest day, but I found the writing I did today to be quite relaxing and enjoyable. I just really got into the scene I was writing, and I got out more words than I thought I would. I set the word goal today of writing 1,250 words to make up for the remainder of what I meant to do yesterday, and I surpassed that. I wrote more words than I thought I would. I have met my weekly word goal. Yay! So that's not the point. I feel like I've told a lot of the story I wanted to tell so far, and it's really shaping up the way I hoped it would. For anyone who is interested in the numbers I've done this week, I'm going to go over them for you now. So on November 1st, the first day of NaNoWriMo, I wrote 1,634 words. On the second day, I wrote 1,533 words. On the third day, I wrote 1,651 words. On the fourth day, I wrote 1,566 words. On the fifth day, the Saturday, I wrote 3,189 words. The sixth day, November 6th, I wrote 1,754 words. All of that combined is a grand total of 11,321 words for my first week. So now I'd like to reflect on what I've kind of learned from this week and what I want to take into the next weeks of writing. It is Sunday today, so tomorrow is going to be a brand new week of writing. The first biggest lesson I am going to try and take away from this week is to focus on the story I want to tell rather than focusing on the word count. I want to really set it out there that the goal of this challenge is for me to tell the story. And I really want to hit those 50,000 words, and I feel like at this point I will. I don't want to focus so much on the numbers. So I'm going to take away the strategy of focusing on what part of the story I want to tell each day rather than focusing on how many words I want to write, which I found really helpful today when I got into the group of things. It's like I want to be checking that word count all the time to make sure I'm meeting the mark, and then it's like I just stop writing once I meet that word mark, but that's not what I want to do. So like today there was one scene I really wanted to write, and I told myself, you know, I'm gonna write this whole scene out. So I have the scene written in its entirety and ready to go, and after I write that scene, then I'll look at the word count and see where I'm at. And you know, I surpassed the word count I set out for myself today, and I felt like I left my story in a really good place for me to return tomorrow. My ideas feel like they're flowing naturally, naturally, and like I feel like I'm ready to go again Monday morning, and I think I want to take that going forward. So definitely focusing on the story, prioritizing the story over the word counts is a major thing I'm going to take away. Another thing I'm going to take away is continuing with the morning writing routines. I think definitely during the weekdays when I have to go to work and I may have other commitments in the evening, setting aside that time to write in the morning has been very helpful. It's the time of day when I can focus on what I want to do for myself. There's like nothing being asked of me. There's nothing I need from anyone else. It's kind of like the whole world is already busy or still sleeping in that moment, and it's just time I can take away from me. I'm going to continue with that going forward. And the third thing I'm going to try and take forward this week is to not be so hard on myself. Definitely my feelings on Saturday with the anxiety and the dread towards writing is because I was already feeling down on myself, and I think I don't have to be. First drafts are meant to be a mess. They're meant to be messy. They're not meant to be perfect. And I was reflecting on this a bit before. Like in university, I took creative writing classes. I did my minor in creative writing. And I feel like with all those assignments I did, it's like really what you're presenting, even though it's very close to a first draft and it may only be like one scene or one short story, kind of has to be as perfect as possible, or at least as perfect as you can get it by yourself, because you're still being graded on that first draft. And even though I would do workshops with that piece of work, it's still something I had to present. So I always felt like in my assignments, I had to present my best. And I think as I'm writing this story, I've never written something so long. I put that sense of perfection on myself that like everything I write has to be perfect. And I've definitely realized like that's not true. Even just skimming through kind of the stuff I've already written, it's like I'm seeing ways I can make it better. I'm seeing ways I would love to rewrite it. But I'm not going to get stuck in that editing loop. So also going forward this week, I'm going to be kinder to myself, recognize that I'm like chasing a dream here, writing my novel. And if it's not going to be perfect, that's okay. I just have to get it out on the paper and continue moving forward. And that concludes my first week of NaNoWriMo. Even though I had these moments of like self-doubt and feeling down on myself, I feel pretty good. Like I feel very accomplished having completed this first week, and I'm excited to see where the next weeks take me. Are you participating in NaNoWriMo, or are you doing any writing this November? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And also let me know if you like this style of video, if you prefer me sitting down and chatting with you, or you like all the little vlog content I filmed. I know I wasn't all made up and done, but I thought it was very real to just show myself first thing in the morning trying to get the writing done. I'm going to be continuing with these vlogs, at least to the best I can, for the next few weeks. I thought it was really fun to see myself and kind of my thought process, at least for the first 3 days of this challenge. So I'm excited to see where things go and to have these memories to look back on. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!